Spiritually uncut.
Spiritually uncut.
Oh boy, we at it again. Yeah, it's Friday, February 3rd, 2023. Man, it's 2023 already, y'all. And it's Friday, and we exposing that demon, that thing we like to call trauma. Yeah, that's right. We live in the building. Today we coming to you, reporting to you live. And one of our sponsors today is Raw Talent Performing Arts and the RTPA Incubator. If you're trying to get your ideas and curriculums into the school, don't hesitate to give us a shout, because they'll walk you through everything you need to do to get in front of that principal that's going to sign that check. That's right. That check. You know what I'm talking about? That moochie, that money. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody for tuning in on this episode. Facebook, YouTube, Bigo. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're right here with your boy. We're going to give the people a few more minutes, then we're going to dive in so I can get my guest on here. Special guest today. Today, family, you hear me? Yeah, in 3, 2, and... Grace, peace, and light to everybody that is joining in on this Friday night. If you in the Midwest or anywhere where it's cold, stay warm, because it's frigid outside. You hear me? But before we kick Family Talk Friday off, I just want to set the atmosphere with an affirmation. Our goal is to grow into a better version of ourselves. I speak positive energy, energy of understanding, energy of love and solitude. Now let's dive deep. Fam, where you at?
Yo, what's the word, brother? How you feeling tonight?
Nah, you got it. I appreciate you for stopping by, kicking it with us on tonight.
Yes, sir. Well,
as you know, we are exposing this demon that we like to call trauma, So before we dive all the way in, a quick trauma fact, and just a little bit about trauma. Trauma can also be an injury such as a wound, living tissue, such as a gunshot wound, stabbing, physical, verbal abuse, disturbing experiences, like seeing someone getting hurt or even killed. And that's what we like to call emotional shock. And that follows a stressful event or physical injury. Here's a quick stat. 1 out of 10 children under the age of 6 living in the major American city has reported witnessing a shooting or stabbing. So that's 59 to 90% of children and youth in the community that has already reported trauma exposure. That's wild business. Yeah. And 60 to 90% of the youth has already experienced trauma. Yeah. So, here's the thing, right? There are 3 specific areas in the brain that are impacted by trauma events. The first is called the amygdala, right? I'm just going to dive into this one real quick because I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with this one, right? The amygdala's job is to help control emotions, survival instincts, and memory. This is the area of the brain that's responsible for our fight or flight response. For someone who has experienced trauma, the amygdala can become very hyperactive, making a person intensely aware of everything around them. This is the brain's way of making sure that the person is able to get away from people, places, or even events that may cause harm. This can be very difficult for someone to relax, sleep, or find enjoyment in activities outside of their comfort zone. That's wild business.
Yeah.
That's wild business. So who are we talking to today? Who are you? Introduce yourself, family.
How you doing out there, everybody? This Nick Stroke out here.
All right, Nick. I appreciate you for joining me, family.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, we definitely go back like four flats on the Cadillac.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's your zodiac sign?
Oh, I'm Virgo, big Virgo. You know, Earth sign. You know.
All day,
Yeah.
all
Shout out
day.
to the
Absolutely. Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Inglewood, 59th. You know, right off Racine, 59th and Elizabeth, basically.
Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, Chicago, Illinois, South Side. You know how we do that. Inglewood.
Chi-town, baby.
Yes,
All right. What was your childhood like growing up?
well, I can say my childhood was like anybody else's. You know what I mean? I guess we grew up broke, but we ain't know. You know what I mean? You know, I grew up I would say I had a decent circle around me. I had a decent neighborhood. We had crime, in, you know, in our neighborhood, just like anybody else's. But, you know, it was pretty good growing up.
Okay. For some of the people that have heard many negative things about Chicago, can you paint a picture of the good and bad of Chicago?
Oh, man. Chicago is a thing of beauty. You know, I tell people, you know, the city is really the city of the big shoulders, for real. I didn't understand, you know, the meaning about it, but growing up and really experiencing and growing in the city, you got to have big shoulders. The city is very broad, you know, so you got to be able to stand up, chest out, to be able to have that in you. You know what I mean? So you got to have that grit coming from the city where we from.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people here that, you know, I may be from Chicago or you may be from Chicago, and their eyebrows tend to go up.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Is it really like?
Oh man, you know what? I would say, you know, we got our, you know, our bad side, but man, we got a thing of beauty, you know, and it goes beyond what you see, you know, the minimal things you'll see about Chicago, like food, like the deep dish and all that. Man, we have so many deep cultures in this city, you know, that we're praying to get back to. You know, just the small cultures of just our elders being able to sit on the front porch and, you know, watch the children play, you know, and old men being able to sit in the garages and fix on cars, you know, had full of beers. I remember walking up and down alleys and you will see garage doors open and, you know, you would know Mr. Willie or Mr. Wilson or something like that. You know, we all used to lend a hand and watch out for each other. You know, the sense of community. That's what, you know, Chicago used to be. So, and, you know, we still have that in a small sense. You know, nowadays, you really don't even know who your neighbors are. And that's sad.
That's sad.
You know what I mean? And that's the sad part about it. You know, we kind of closed off and, you know, that's the city's mentality. People always say, oh, yeah, we know you from Chicago. Our mentality is a little bit different. You know, we do have a fight or flight. You know, we gonna do what we gotta do. You know what I mean?
To survive, on the real.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And
big facts.
And that's because of trauma, you know, becoming in the city. You know what I'm saying? It's trauma. And it's embedded in us. You know, and that's how people can tell where we from Chicago. You know, by the way we walk, the way we carry ourselves, our lingo. You know, they know what's up when they see us. Period. Whether you from the south side, west side, north side, over east,
low end,
you know,
real
talk.
What's
up.
They know what's up.
Yes, sir.
They know what's up. What ways helped you cope with the negative energy in Chicago?
I can say my love for music, me being creative. You know, growing up, I used to always love how to read. You know, well, not learn how to read, but love to read. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes books can take you to a place of fantasy and you always want to do things like that and you always want to explore. So I think me being creative and, you know, loving music and going to a musical school and stuff like that kind of helped me, you know, not really become a product of my environment in that sense. But, you know, I would say that.
Facts. Do you associate yourself with the LGBTQ community?
Yes, sir.
Why and why not?
Because I am a lesbian. Proud lesbian.
Okay. Has your sexual preference ever caused trauma in your life?
No, not necessarily. I wouldn't say that. My family and friends were very supportive. I would definitely say that. You know, sometimes you will get a little friends like a little shady, you know, but that's okay for me because that ain't nothing but a way for me to chop you off. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yes, sir.
Facts. Do you have any siblings, and were you all close?
Yes, I have a older sister. Her name is Faith. By the way, she just suffered a stroke 3 days ago, so she's in the hospital. So I want to just send a special prayer out for her and everybody, who's watching, and for you yourself, brother. Just a shout of prayer out for my sister.
Well, we praying and sending high energy for a speedy recovery. Real talk.
Thank you.
Real talk. Did your siblings ever witness any trauma that you know about?
Well, to answer the half of that first part about us being close, yeah, we were close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely would say my sister did experience some trauma coming up. Just a small example. I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that, but I remember being around like 11 or 12, and my sister was out, talking to her boyfriend at the time, little young love, because she was
Right.
3 years older than me. And her and my cousin was outside, and my aunt had just called them in, and a drive-by had just happened, and my sister's little boyfriend at the time was killed, just sitting on the porch. So,
Wow.
yeah, it just happened just that fast. So, yeah, so definitely she's experienced some things.
I'm sure. Now, was you on 59th Street when this happened? Or?
Oh, no.
Oh, where?
No, I wasn't on 59th Street. We was actually out west.
Out west, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dig that. Have you ever, besides that situation, or if you want to talk about that situation or elaborate more about that situation, have you ever seen or experienced any trauma, fights? Of course, like you just mentioned, someone getting killed. If you want to elaborate on that again, or abusive relationships, whatever the case may be.
Shootings, of course. Fightings, definitely. Coming up in the hood, you definitely gonna see some fights. Hell, if you ain't had a couple fights, you know what I mean?
All day.
Gonna check you, and test you, you know what I mean? So,
Facts.
definitely. But yeah, I remember riding in the car with a friend of mine going down 68th Street, going to another friend's house, and we saw one of our drumline members, and we were waving down, talking to him, and car drives right past, shoots at the car right in front of us. We were caught like right in the middle because they were in the front and the back, and we had to hurry up and get out that jam, basically. So that was just like that. You know what I mean? So trauma, yes, definitely.
It is real in the field.
Yes, definitely real in the field, and it makes you hyper vigilant. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm already knowing.
Vigilant. And that's a sign of trauma that I have, being honest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely hyper vigilant when I'm anywhere. I don't like sitting at stop signs too long, street lights, keep me in rotation, because
I'm already knowing.
I've been seeing too much in my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I'm in like a restaurant or a club, I'm definitely watching for the exits. Definitely trying to see where the door at, watching people's faces, their body maneuvers, all of that. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real. So that specific trauma experience, how did that affect your spirit?
Oh, man, it just let me know, I can go at any time. It definitely kills your spirit because you don't know, what's going to take you out in this city. You know what I mean? And you would hate to be, just another innocent victim. Just walking to the car, going to the grocery store. Hell, even laying in your bed because bullets are flying. So, yeah, it definitely kills your spirit.
Kills your spirit. I hear that. Now, these few traumatic experiences you've talked about, how have you gotten over those experiences, and the people that that witnessed them, how did they get over them? If you know.
Well, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm being honest about that. Because I've suffered so many. I've suffered abuse by the hand of CPD. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm still dealing with that to this day. Especially when you're looking at the news and stuff is constantly popping up of, people being killed by the hands of, officers or whatever station, that could have been me.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? So it's a constant reminder. So, and I don't know how some of the people that I know are dealing with their trauma. Some are going to therapy. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing if that's what they want to do. You know, I wouldn't tell nobody not to go. I would encourage people to go. If that's your therapy, if you don't have a friend you can talk to, a lover you can talk to, a brother or sister you can talk to, hell, if you can't even talk to yourself, I would definitely encourage you to see someone.
That's real, because I don't want to jump too far ahead, but you know, I was talking to this Indian doctor, and he made a statement about that. A lot of people think that therapy is going to see a professional with a degree, but sometimes therapy is just venting to someone. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, they have these issues regardless of what the issue is, but they don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest issue. Mm-hmm. Not being able to pinpoint, because once you done pinpointed the problem, it's like having a car and your car stopped. Once you pinpoint the problem, half the problem is already okay. There you go. Half the problem is already over because we done already diagnosed the problem. And I think that's the same way with us. Mm-hmm. If we can just pinpoint the issue, mm-hmm. or just admit that it is an issue, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And once we able to start talking about it, half the battle over.
Yeah, I think definitely. And you got to do the work. You got to do the footwork, because once after you know, like, hey, I can get petty as hell, and you can you know, diagnose what's the root to that pettiness. You got to do the work. You know, don't just sit and say, okay, I'm a petty motherfucker. That's what I am.
Now that's
why I'm always, you know, into it with people, and I can't get along with, you know, relationships. I'm petty, but you got to do the work. Right. You got to break out of that. You know what I mean? You got to evolve.
Facts. Yeah, that's real.
Yes, sir. You got to evolve, man. Yeah. I mean, own your shit, but break the chain. You know, break the chain. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man, because I know you're tired of being petty. I know you're tired of people hanging up on your ass. You're not getting, invites to certain events. You know what I mean? Break the chain, brother. You know, smile. Let it go. Let it go.
Let that shit go.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah.
Own it, but let it go.
Let that shit go. Yeah. Let they say, you know, you ain't got to forget. Just forgive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Something got that, you know what I'm saying?
Nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Right, you know what I mean?
But, you know, we just gonna lock it up now, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't want to leave the brother out there. We just gonna lock up the, you know, the good shit, you know?
Oh, the real.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, of course, this leads us to our next question. What's your thoughts on therapy? You dived in it a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. I think we should go into it a lot more than we actually are at this rate, you know, because we do have that stigma, and it's becoming more aware, and people are more talking about, you know, the stigma in our community of not going to therapy, you know, just pray, and how it's, you know, frowned upon, and, you know, things like that. And I'm glad it's coming out in our communities, and more men and young Black men are now going to therapy. You know what I mean?
That's
you know, because I'm glad of that, because a lot of young men don't know how to deal with their emotions, because we don't talk about emotions in young men. We don't.
Right.
They're expected to just be okay with it. You know, toughen up, suck that shit up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How are they gonna let it out?
Exactly.
When are they gonna let it out? And who can they let it out to?
Exactly.
Without them being judged. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And young Black women, you know, they're forced to be, she a strong Black woman. Shit, what happens when you tired of being strong?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? What happens,
you
know, when you tired of being strong? You know, that's a heavy load to be strong all the time.
Man, talk about it.
That's a heavy load to be strong all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when can you let it go? When can she express herself without her being bitchy, a nag? You know, when she's expressed herself numerous of times, but, you know, sometimes we get a little deaf upon her ears, you know. She ain't talking about nothing, you know what I'm saying? But when she start busting windows and flattening them tires and You crazy? No, you
Right. No, yeah, real talk.
no. She done told you. I see it in the
Right.
text messages. She told you.
No.
Stop playing with
Right,
me, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Come home at
Nah,
night
that's
or
real.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we gotta start, diving into it more. You know what I mean? And accepting it more, and stop having things to say. Stop judging people so much on shit because you going through something. We all are.
I think that's the biggest reason why people don't go to therapy. Because they don't want to get judged. They don't want to get talked about. They don't want their business in the
Don't
street.
nobody know them. And I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm just gonna keep it honest. Don't nobody know you. Like, if I can go to a therapist right now, it's gonna be a person I do not know.
Right.
And to be honest, so I'm sure they going through something. I'm sure they talking to somebody. Because it's a heavy load to listen to trauma all damn day long from different people, different areas, from different aspects of the world. I'm sure they got to let it out. So you can't judge me. I don't give a damn. I always been like that. You've been knowing me for a long time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Get you where you at, basically. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people, not like that. You know what I mean? And we're trying to get people to be more comfortable with, becoming okay with just letting it out. That's my goal. For people not to be so scared and afraid, because I'm more scared and afraid for you to snap.
Man, that's real.
You know what I mean? That's
real.
That's what you should be afraid of. A lot of people don't snap and commit murders. A lot of people just snap, and now they don't have a sense of anything anymore.
That's real.
Total madness. So that's my concern.
Nah, that's real.
Yeah.
I feel like if people just get more to that step of not giving a fuck what other people think, I think we can the healing process can begin.
Yeah.
For some, what I'm saying?
Some.
Because everybody's situation is different. Everybody's mental issues is a bit different. Everybody upbringing or trauma was different.
Better yet, some people don't want to be healed.
That too. And once again, that comes from not knowing how.
And that's trauma.
That's big trauma.
Yeah. So I'll go
big
back
trauma.
to that big demon that we talking about tonight.
Man, that motherfucker, man.
Hey, what they say in church? Yeah, man. That's what we talking about. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Hey, tell me, brother. Yeah, man. I've been waiting all my life to hit that, man.
Right.
Yes, sir. You had to be important. You had to be important to hit that. You was on the deacon.
Right.
You was on the deacon bench to hit that shit. You know what I'm saying? You was on the deacon bench. You wasn't in the audience. You was quiet.
Nah, you was on the deacon.
You was on the deacon to hit that shit. Yeah, man.
Hit it real quick,
yeah, because you'll be looking in the back like, who said that shit?
Right.
You be like, yeah, that's the maid nigga right there.
That was the deacon right up there with them socks.
That's him. That's the one that can't.
Oh, shit. Oh, man, that was a good laugh. Oh, man, that's another thing people need to just start doing, laughing more. I swear to God. Just laugh for no reason. Laughter is good.
Yeah, get some more laughter in your diet. It's needed.
In real talk, laughter is good. Laughter is good. Yeah. All right, look, man, we done made it down to the last question.
Oh, okay.
This the big one here.
All right, yes, sir.
Do you feel that our people will ever heal?
I pray that we do. I pray that we do. That's a nice question. But with grace, we give people the space for grace. You know what I mean? And we can do that. We can start the healing process. You know what I mean? It's going to take some time. But I really do pray for our community for healing. Yeah.
That's real.
Yes, sir.
Michael Jackson said it best. heal the world.
Yeah. And you can make it a better place, you know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I think it is. It's gonna take a lot of work.
Oh.
It's gonna take a lot of work.
Yeah.
You gotta go back to the shit that happened back when your grandma was young and shit. God.
You know what? We got to get back to loving ourselves again and loving
That too.
again. You know what I mean? We got to start valuing each other and our children and then in our, you know, educations and in our health care. And we can't just start, you know, stop just letting things go. You know what I mean? Yeah. We gotta start, you know, diving into those areas a lot more because we are coming above those ages. You know what I mean? And it's affecting us. You know what I mean? Now, it wasn't affecting us so much when we were younger because we didn't care, but.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I really just start tuning in that about families are, you know, the mother will have kids, then the kids will get older, then the older kids won't be cool with one side of the family for certain issues because shit then got swept up under the rug. Years ago, once again, regardless of what the issues was, that's one thing a lot of our families, black families, do.
Yeah.
To save face.
Yeah.
Shit that didn't happen. Yeah. They don't talk about it. They sweep it up under the rug. It's okay. Let it go. No.
We definitely have a bad habit of protecting the wrong. Because we've always grew up with that. Whatever goes on in this house stays on in this house.
Stays in this house, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Real talk.
And a lot of those times, that shit didn't need to stay in the house. It needed to been screamed out loud.
Exposed.
Yeah, we suppress children at a very young age. We express their emotions. We express their, you know, their thoughts, everything about them. Because we tell them what we say. You too young, you know, mind your business because I said so.
Because you said so, man.
We suppressed a lot, you know what I mean? And we've been suppressed. It's a chain. So we gotta start. We gotta start. We see the problem in the chain, like you said. So you got a car. We gotta start fixing that car up.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely gotta do that.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I do with my kids that was what I do with my kids that wasn't done to me, and that was when like I had a question. You already know when you had a question. 9 times out of 10, you damn near get popped for asking a question or asking why.
Yeah.
You feel me? And when my kids, now don't get me wrong, my kids got a smart mouth. Don't get me wrong, but.
Right.
I always, you know what I'm saying, baby, I don't mind you asking why. Just watch how you ask it. You know what I'm saying? And that allows my kids to understand their freedom of asking questions.
And being able to, you know, come to you how they would just
exactly
judging them because they said why. You know, because you've been stressed from the day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I swear I was just reading. I read about the mind all the time. And one of the things I was just reading was about how you can speak to your children before they go to bed. Speak to them when they get up. And before they leave out. Because you're setting the tone for each one.
Yeah.
You setting the tone from when they go to sleep. When they wake up the next day, they know... Daddy's calm. You know what I'm saying? Before they leave out, they know, all right, I could be the best version of myself because my daddy, you know, sent me out the door with welcoming words, warm words. You know what I'm saying? Opposed on the flip side, going the fuck off because I'm stressed, my bills, and you know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do with them.
Definitely don't.
You know, I definitely pride myself on not yelling and screaming at my kids. Real talk, and most importantly, not just whooping their ass for no reason.
And you know what? Parents had a lot of trauma, and they just
they did
feel that shit out on us. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I even find myself now helping my mother heal. Because a lot of things that I talk about to moms, she like, baby, I never thought about it like that. And, you know what I'm saying? And my mom's gonna be 75.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine people that's walking around in their 40s and 50s and 60s.
Yeah. Dealing,
You know,
just years of trauma on their chest.
years.
Yeah.
And what's sad is a lot of parents has contributed to the trauma and didn't know it.
Yeah, definitely didn't. Yeah. Because they parent did them a certain way.
Exactly. Yeah. So sometimes the way you was raised ain't always the best way.
This is true. And that's why you got to work. You got to do what works for you and your family.
That's real.
You know, a lot of us, you know, came up a certain way, and granted, we can always hold on to the good things, but you know, the things that you didn't want to spend, you ain't gotta teach your kid those things.
Right.
You know, raise your kid to be the best person they can possibly be.
They can possibly be. Not who I want them to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yo, it's definitely been a blast talking to you.
Sir.
And I definitely appreciate you for stopping by. You know what I'm saying? If I don't cut it here, we're gonna be talking forever on the real.
yeah, definitely.
It's always a pleasure talking to you though. You already know we family for life, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But people, Facebook, Riverside family, thanks for tuning in. I will definitely be tuning in again Tuesday with Astrology Talk Tuesday. Please join in. Please like, please share, spread the word. We are talking about exposing this thing we like to call trauma. Until next time, family, it's been real.
Spiritually
Powered by Riverside FM.